We are at my country home, about an hour and 40 minutes from New York City, which is where I live. Second to my Istanbul studio, this is my most zen place that I get to relax at.
I would love to know a little bit more about your history and how you got started.
So I grew up in Istanbul, Turkey. I came to the US as a college student when I was 18, and I spent 46, 47 years here. I initially studied economics and political science and then got an MBA and worked in banking for a few years. Decided corporate America was not compatible with having a family, so I left that and designed children's clothing for about 10 years and moved on to becoming an apparel consultant, finding factory space in Turkey for major importers of apparel in the industry, and I learned so much about young designers that was part of their style. Just in terms of thinking how to put things together, how to merchandise, and that's a little bit about color theory and that kind of thing. That got to be that's a very difficult business. And I always loved jewelry as a kid. My dad was a jeweler, and I was sitting very depressed at my friend's house, and her husband said, "Why don't you even do jewelry? You have great sense of jewelry." And I said, "I know nothing about it, but you know what? One thing led to another. I was convinced, and I said, what have I got to lose? I'll try." And really the rest is history. And the stores caught on to it like it was incredible. It came out to be better than anything I ever imagined. And thank you to people like you and the person who's even filming me today, their family. I mean, it's just been a wonderful journey so far.
You've done an amazing job. You've
Thank
curated
you.
a beautiful, jewelry line, of course, but also like your life, being able to see, this and your family. They're calling you. Like I've got to see that. Like you're talking to them. Like you've really
Oh
curated
yeah,
a beautiful life.
I'm very much actively taking care of my aging parents who are half a world away, so it's a little complicated, but I also have grown children and two grandchildren that I enjoy a lot. I'm still married to the same guy. It's been more than 40 years. I don't know how we did it. He's a very patient person.
You're a real woman, and I find that inspiring that you made the switch, you went for it, and you've done all these things. It's not easy.
It wasn't easy, and I didn't think I would succeed at it. I was like, what have I got to lose?
You mentioned that this is like a peaceful place for you. It inspires you.
Yes.
Is there anything else that inspires your designs?
Well, nature for sure. Also, I'm from a city right on the water, so anything ocean, anything Mediterranean, or even just the Atlantic or the Pacific, anything that's blue is really inspirational to me. I look for that characteristic in gemstones. But my biggest inspiration really is the gems I've fallen in love with over the years. And I don't necessarily look for pedigree of the gems as much as I look for uniqueness and different and how I can sort of build around it and maybe come up with something new or a new treatment or something like that. So I think very analytically when I actually look at a gem from that standpoint. And of course, the biggest inspiration is really the reason why I do a ton of trunk shows. You've seen me work at trunk shows. I love to listen to people, empathize with them, and see what they're gravitating towards, see what they're really loving in my work, and kind of build upon that.
Because I've always wondered how that works. Like, is it you see a stone and it sparks an idea and you kind of, you're inspired and you're like, I have to have that, and you design it, and it's almost like it's then designing for you. It's something you love. But then there's also the side, right? Yeah, that you know your customers and your clientele, and sometimes it's probably designing for them, I imagine.
Very much so, but I am one of them. I empathize, so I start thinking like them. I even sometimes start dressing like them. I mean, it's sort of the reason why I pick up languages so quickly. I empathize wholly with my whole soul and body. People make beautiful, beautiful jewelry, but I don't want to be like them. I want to be unique. I want to stand out. And I think my clientele also gravitates towards that sense of individuality. Having said that, I have things that are so old, like I don't get tired of things very, very quickly if I really love them initially. Like this snake ring, for example, was part of my very, very first collection. And the inspiration was obviously ancient Egyptian jewelry, but snakes have always been very classic. Jewelry needs to be timeless, but it also needs to be a form of self-expression so that you express your own individuality. And if you own a collection, you want to build upon it, or at least that's what I strive for. So I don't have like a specific season or a specific collection that's an entirety on its own. It will very much relate to what you already have.
Something that I love about your pieces is how versatile they are. Like, I feel like I can easily layer them and I can wear them with different outfits. Is that something that you're thinking about when you're designing?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I have so many collectors that own so many of my pieces, so I want them to be able to build up on it and add to it without, ever giving up their Lika habit. Because I travel a lot, I want practicality when you're traveling. So I want my customers to have something real that they can take on a trip and wear and not be worried about it too much. For example, I have these earrings that are gold in the front but reversed to silver, so you can wear it white or yellow depending on your mood, depending on your outfit needs or whatever. Try to make it a bit more casual than your very, very fine jewelry, because what are we wearing today? Mostly casual. Even when we're dressed for work, there's still an element of casualness in our outfits today. Like I'm pairing a really dressy dress that I wear to work with a jean jacket of sorts, So my jewelry has to speak to that, I feel like. And for example, Sarah's wearing those earrings that are gold in the front and they're back on the back. So they really go with everything I basically make, pretty much. I want different lengths for your necklaces. I want you to be able to wear a necklace doubled up, as a lariat, mixed in very different ways.
Yeah.
So that is very, very important.
I know I've had these Lika cuffs for many years, and I wear these every single day. Every day I put them on, and it's just like, this is me, this is my style, and it's just a little way I can express it. But it's like something I bought for myself, that it's not like, I might buy this jacket or another piece of clothing or a bag, and eventually it's not going to be here anymore. It's going to wear out, but I know I'm going to have these forever, and I can build upon it. And I think that's something really cool about jewelry, and also the way that you design. And that it's
that
very
brings
versatile.
tears to my eyes. Oh. That is that whole
Yeah.
happiness. I would look at her. Look at
No,
how
for
Sarah's face lit up. Okay, and to
Yeah.
me, that's my reward. That's my way of defining success. Before I forget, I want to add about styling. People sometimes ask me, "Oh, does this look okay? Does that work?" And yeah, I do that too, I have to admit. But at the end of the day, go to a mirror, look at yourself. Does it make you feel great? That's your answer. And don't listen too much. Oh, yeah, I like it. No, I don't like it. It's not a debate, guys. The mirror makes that decision for you. If you feel good looking at the mirror, that's when the correct piece has been put on.
So I know you're a really charitable person.
I like to give back.
Tell me a little bit about that.
One of my favorite projects is called Gem Legacy, where we support artisanal gem miners in Africa. Even in my trunk shows, for each piece sold, sometimes I donate to that charity, where one piece sold actually feeds school children for a year. Why is that important? Well, obviously food is important, but feeding school children encourages school attendance. So they have a ticket out of poverty because they're getting educated. I'm a breast cancer survivor, so every year I sponsor a mammography van to an underprivileged neighborhood somewhere around New York. I do it because it's local, easy for me to get to, and they give free mammograms and they follow up with the women where they detect something not so great. This year I gave to Jewelers for Children. So those are just various charities that us jewelers support. Another very favorite one of mine is City Meals on Wheels. I feel like in America sometimes older people are neglected or alone, and delivering a hot meal, I love to cook, you know that about me. So I don't cook per se the meals, but I support feeding someone. So we feed the elderly in New York. So I had to pick and choose because I can't fix the world all by myself, but I do a little bit, and I think if everyone did a little bit at a time, we'd have a wonderful world. Success is really in the eye of someone like Sarah, who is a jewelry buyer. When I meet with her approval, not only that though, when I go to, when somebody walks in the door, specifically comes to meet me at a store, specifically is wearing my work, or wants it, or when my employees say to me they love working for me, that is the biggest gift on the planet. So I think in my old age I have discovered that you can't make everyone happy all the time, but if you do your best, they will appreciate it.